Hello friends, today I have a fun Patriotic USA red, white, and blue video with 3 awesome wood DIYs. I'm also going to show you my new glue gun that I got, so stay tuned and enjoy. Okay, we're going to start with these 3 large tags, which I only end up using one of them. They're pretty thick. I got them at the Creative Recycle Reuse thrift store. Do not remember how much I paid for them, but it was probably like $2.49 because that sounds about like the price that they would charge for this item. I took the strings off and I painted them red, white, and blue. But then I changed the course of my idea for this DIY, and I'm only going to use the white one. But I'm just showing you that I did paint them all red, white, and blue. Sometimes we just change our mind and switch gears and go a different direction. I'm not sure why I'm showing you all that painting, but I got it painted good, 2 coats. Now I picked up these rusty, crusty, beautiful metal stars in a large bag at the Goodwill. They were just a few dollars each for these. They were brand new, they'd never been opened, and I think I paid like maybe $3 or $4 a bag for these stars. And then I'm going to use, I believe this is called letterpress stamp by IOD, and I'm going to use this now this little overlay, I can't even remember what it's called. I cut it in half because it was really big, and I have 2 of them, and so I cut it in half, but it helps you be able to line the letters up really nicely. And now this is the grain sack stripe off of the newest stamps that came out in the spring collection, and I'm going to just use it as a red stripe on this. So you don't have to use the stamps exactly like they are in the package. You have to just get creative and use your imagination. Okay, so this is the one that has the rooster in it. Now I'm going to use the tomato ink from IOD, and look how beautiful that is. And I'm going to line it up as straight as I can. And you know, we do rustic DIYs, so everything doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to hold it steady with one hand while I press down with the other hand. And look how beautiful that stamp is. I'm going to wipe it off with a baby wipe or wet wipe, and just continue that same process with the letters and put it right on top of the stripe. I love how that turned out. Okay, now I'm going to take my old crusty chippy brush and some weathered wood paint by DIY, and I'm just going to dirty up the edges a little bit. I want it to look a little worn and rustic because that's my style. If you don't like that style, don't do it. If you wanted to do this not patriotic, you could use the letters and spell home, and this would be adorable. You could do it for Christmas and spell joy. I'm using a little bit of cake batter to add another color in there because, you know, old wood is not just one solid color. Now these, I didn't have enough surface to glue these little stars down, so I took some little tiny beads and glued them to the center of the stars so that I would have some surface to glue it down to. Now I promised you that I had a new glue gun, and I did, but it's charging up right now while I'm crafting, so you're going to see it shortly, I promise. Now I'm just going to glue these little stars down on a couple of the tips, but mostly on that bead. And I don't mind that there's that little hole in the top of them. That doesn't bother me at all. If that bothers you, you could put a little twine bow, or you could try to fill it in with some spackling and paint over it. Now I'm going to use some clear wax by DIY, and I'm going to wax this entire surface. I did not wax it before I glued those stars down because I was going to use hot glue, and I wanted to make sure that it adhered good. Now I'm taking some jute twine from my stash, and I am going to do a double knot so that it doesn't pull through that hole. And I like to see the knot on the front on some of my projects. So I did that on both sides and made a hanger. Now I had this fabric, these little scraps of fabric from a project I did previously, and I decided that they were a little too bright for this rustic project. So I'm taking the dark wax by DIY, and I'm just brushing some on the fabric. Yep, you can use it on fabric too. So I did it on all the pieces. This is just some little muslin. It's almost like cheesecloth, but it's just some little muslin fabric. I'm going to take a piece of twine and put it in this little bow dabra. My friend Brandy from Making It My Own DIYs brought me this. She found it at the Goodwill bins. And she knew that I was wanting one, and so she got it for me. She is such a sweetheart. If you don't watch her channel, pop on over there to Making It My Own DIYs. She's trying to reach a goal, and if you can help her, go over there and subscribe and reach her goal, that would be awesome. Okay, pull it up, tie a knot. I'm going to tie that knot really tight, and then I just shake it. I just shake it out, and then pull all those little pieces until they get how I like them. I didn't shake it on camera because it probably would have made my camera shake. And so now I'm just going to glue that up there with a little bit of hot glue. And look how cute. But we can't just leave that bow all alone up there by itself, right? So I think did I glue something in the center of it? No, I did not. I left it up there all by itself. But it looks adorable. I love it. Excuse me. I have it on an easel in this picture, and I think it looks cute. You could hang it on the wall and make yourself a little gallery wall for 4th of July. Or I just have it in some greenery with some beads, a beaded garland. Another awesome find that I found at the Creative Thistle Reuse, and I will have their website linked in the description box below. I try to put it in every one of my videos. You can order online, and they have free shipping with a certain amount of purchase. This was brand new, had never been used. I got it for $2.49. It came from Joann's, was originally $15. I have the IOD crest mold out, and I'm going to pour just that one several times. It took me a little while to get it done, but I used the resin that sets up really fast, like 10 minutes. So I just poured and then worked on something else and poured and worked on something else till I got enough poured to make this frame around this, I don't know, what are we going to call this? This framed piece of artwork. I'm going to use the Titebond Quick and Thick and some hot glue to adhere this. I'm using my heavy duty hot glue gun. I still do have my new hot glue gun. I'm letting it charge up. It's a USB charged hot glue gun, and it's over there charging as we speak, and it's going to make its entrance shortly. But for now, we're going to use the Titebond Quick and Thick and the heavy duty, the big glue gun with just regular glue sticks. I just decided I wanted to spread that out to the edges a little bit because I don't want this all popping off. I worked really hard to make these, and to glue them on, we don't want them popping off. So let's get enough glue on there and press them down, and I just hold it for a few seconds till the hot glue dries, and then voila. Now I'm going to take the back out. Look how beautiful this piece is. All this the back comes out, and it comes out in 2 pieces. And those little things are kind of sharp, so you got to be careful. We're going to set that aside for now. And we're going to work on this little piece. I'm going to take Weathered Wood by DIY. I get all my DIY products from Sammy at www.unicorndustdesigns.com. She has IOD products. She has DIY paints and products and all kinds of other goodies on her website. So she's linked in the description box below if you forget. So go and check out her website. So you can see this is a watered down. I had just a little bit left in the jar, and I had a new one. So I went ahead and watered that down. So I'm using that as my watered down weathered wood. Then I decided to take the dark wax to seal it, and I absolutely love. This is my new favorite stained look for a dark stain. It doesn't have any red or gold in it, which is not my preference. I prefer the more cool natural tones rather than the warm tones. So I am in love with this. Okay, now I'm going to decide what to put on the back. So I'm going to divide it in half. I'm going to do the top part different than the bottom part. I'm going to do the USA map differently. So I marked where it all was. So when I go to paint or whatever, I have some guidelines. So I'm going to paint the top half of it red because I want the L to be red. I'm going to paint that with Marquee by DIY. I'm giving it one good coat. On the bottom half, I'm painting it. Oh, that was the bottom half. I'm sorry, because the bottom half of the flag is red. I'm painting the top portion in Hey Sailor by DIY. One good solid coat. Great coverage on this little piece of wood. I'm going to dry it with my heat gun to get it dry because I'm impatient. And then I have a piece of this little scrapbook paper left from last week's DIY. If you haven't seen last week's video, go ahead and watch that one too, because I used this scrapbook paper and made some cute little things. You can see I'm just marking it where I want to cut it so that I can get it where I want it. I'm marking on that piece where I want it to lay when I get done. So I'm going to apply some Mod Podge to the back of this piece of scrapbook paper because I'm going to use my favorite iron-on method. I'm going to lay it over there to dry while I paint my frame. I'm going to paint the sides and the top and all the little nooks and crannies with Vintage Linen by DIY. Set it aside to dry. I did seal this red and blue paint with Big Top by DIY, but I left the spot where I'm going to put my flag on. I did not seal that. So I'm going to iron this on. It's going to reactivate that Mod Podge and glue it down with zero amount of wrinkles. I'm going to take some clear wax by DIY and just seal all that down nice. I'm taking white wax by DIY. I'm using all the waxes in my stash today, in my arsenal. And I'm going to give this entire frame a very nice coat of white DIY wax. Then I'm going to take some white DIY wax and some dark DIY wax. And first I thought I could just dip my brush back and forth, and I didn't really like how that worked. Now I'm working on a silicone mat. That's why I just put it directly on there, because it cleans off of this mat perfectly. Then I just ended up with that little clear spatula. I ended up just mixing those two together, the white and the dark together, and using it. And I loved how that turned out because it wasn't quite as dark as the dark wax. And then it just muted it down a little bit. And I just wanted to bring out the details on the greenery in this frame and not make it so stark. And I love how it turned out. Now, after I did it with that, I went ahead and buffed it very gently afterwards. Now, here is the little wheat from the, what is that mold? I should have put it on the screen for you guys. It's the one with the cow and the sheep and the pig. And my friends gave me some advice and told me we needed the amber waves of grain on here because it's the USA, and we love the USA. So I'm using some cake batter and some faded burlap to make this look like wheat, clearing it with some DIY clear wax to seal it. And then I'm going to make a messy bow for the top of this. Oh, I'm going to put it all in the frame first. That would be a great idea. We're going to put this all back in the frame. I don't know if I made the bow on camera. I may have these clips a little bit out of order. When I went to edit, I had a little bit of a blonde moment. Nope, I didn't. So I'm using some canvas drop cloth and some burlap ribbon. Going to get out my little bow dabra, and I'm just going to layer these up. Oops, I guess I want to use that one first. I love using canvas drop cloth. In case you don't know, my name is Kendra. This channel is Late Night Creations, and we love canvas drop cloth and scrap wood. Those are my two favorite things to DIY with, to create with. So same song, second verse, same as the first with the other bow, but just different fabrics. Fluff it out. I tied that bow in the center. We're going to put the amber waves of grain in the center of this bow with the new glue gun. Bleds reached out to me and sent me this glue gun for free to show it and try it out and show it to you guys. It has that little short USB rechargeable cord. Took it a couple of hours actually to charge fully. And it has that little stand that just pops in there. And it has a little fine tip. It has an on-off switch. It has to be in the off position to charge. And then it will turn red. And then when you turn it on, if the light is, it's kind of a purpley color, then you're ready to use it. They also sent this little pack of glue sticks. The little mini glue sticks are longer than usual, and it came with all those beautiful glitter ones. And the glue comes out very smoothly. It doesn't dry super fast. It takes it a little bit to dry, but it gives you a little bit of wiggle room that way. and there was very, very minimal drippage, which is what we all want in a glue gun, right? And I will say that it stayed charged up, and I could use it for at least 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I quit trying to squirt glue out of it. So it did stay charged up for at least 15 minutes. So I feel like that is great. I'm going to leave a link in the description box where you can find that glue gun, and I believe there's a discount if you purchase it through my link. Okay, let's move on to the final DIY. You know I'm going to do something with some spindles. So I cut up my final last couple chairs from that big haul I made a few years ago. It was like a year and a half ago. And I'm going to make a flag. And so I'm cutting some little skewers that you get at Dollar Tree. You know, they have them all the time. And I'm going to use these as little dowel sticks. So I'm cutting them with my miter shears. You can cut these with scissors easily. These miter shears are so quick and easy. And I'm using that really nasty, dirty rag that I use to wipe off stain and wipe off stuff to catch it. Now I used that little piece of tape to guide where I wanted my holes to be. And I'm just going to drill some holes straight down in these spindles, the size of the skewer. So the skewer will fit down in there. And I'm going to make them all top to bottom. You can see over there on the left where I've already put two of them together. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to pop that right in there. And so I'm going to put some on the left side and some on the right side. Not going to bore you with showing you how I did all of them. I did sand these down a little bit. It had been out in the rain quite a bit. I'm telling you that I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones off camera. It had rained on it quite a bit. The wood was not damaged, but the paint was. It had a really thick shellac on it. All I had to do was use my finger sander to sand that off, so it was really easy. Now I'm about to start painting. So I'm marking off, excuse me, where I want the blue. Now I'm watering it down. This is Hey Sailor, and I just have an old lid off of something. Instead of throwing it away, I just put some paint in it and watered it. I save it for such a time as this. My daughter made fun of me because there was a lid to a jar of peanuts, and she went to throw it in the trash, and I said, no, I need that. And she was like, oh, Mom, please. Okay, so we're going to paint this red, and I just love Patriotic. This is my last Patriotic video for this season. I love the Patriotic. We are blessed to live in a country where we are free to worship. We are free to, freedoms also allow things that maybe we don't agree with. But if we have the freedom to worship and not have to hide to worship the Lord and read our Bible, then we need to be happy that everybody has their freedoms, whether we agree with it or not. And we just have to pray for those people who don't know the Lord and pray that they will come to know Him and be the example and be the light. So you can just see what I'm doing here, that I'm just using some watered down, almost doing it like a wash, and then I dried it, and sometimes I wiped a little off or whatever. Now I'm using the clear wax by DIY, and for whatever reason, my clear wax ends up wiping back the paint. I don't know. I spoke to Sammy about it, and she just doesn't understand why mine does that, but I was going to distress it anyway, so I just went ahead and sanded it all down and distressed it. Now, these are some jumbo craft sticks. Excuse me, I do not know what is wrong with my voice today. Probably all this rain we've had has caused some stuff in the air. These jumbo craft sticks, I'm just going to glue them to the back for some extra support. I do trust the dowel sticks, but this is these little spindles are kind of heavy. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish distressing. I decided I wanted a little bit more. So I'm going to use this little finger sander, which I absolutely love, and get it on Temu. You can get them on Amazon. You can find them lots of places. Now for a hanger, I decided it would be a cute shelf sitter or whatever you want to do with it at this point. But, me and my canvas drop cloth, I just cut a couple little pieces of strips of it and ragged it out. And I'm just going to glue it to the back. Now, all this time I've been working, it's been sped up, but I've been working on this project, and this glue gun is still hot. So this little thing packs a mighty punch. So I would highly recommend that you go and check it out. So I'm just going to press that glue down into that drop cloth nice and firmly so it will be a good hold, and this little project is finished. Let me know in the comments which one of these 3 DIYs you liked the best, and I will see you in the next video. That's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed these DIYs and that you are inspired to make some beautiful home decor for your house. But most of all, I want you to remember to be still and know that He is God.